Hey guys, I'm trying to see if I've got this right. I probably have, oh, there we go. Maybe it's close enough. And I'm going to raise it just a little bit. If you'll bear with me. Okay. I mean, I'm short, but I think that'll have my head cut off. So, how is everybody? Well, I think that's as good as it's going to get. How is everybody? I I can't press the button. There we go. On the go live and be on the side of the table. So anyway, hopefully I will see comments as they come up. Sometimes I have to like scroll left, scroll right. So how is everybody? I'm excited to make strawberries with you guys on a Friday afternoon. I'm excited it's finally Friday. Let's be honest about that too. Um, I'll give you guys a little bit, I'll finish setting up and give you guys a little bit of time to find me. Hopefully you can see everything okay. If you're going to make strawberries with me, unlike the cooking community, I didn't post a recipe or anything in advance, but if you're going to make them with me, all you need is a pot or a cup, and you can either use the stove top or you can use the microwave. Use whatever you want to do. Hi, oh, Australia. We have somebody joining us from Australia. That's really cool. Oh, thank you. Somebody's coming on the flowers behind me. I went to Aldi today, and Aldi's, I usually get all their wonderful cheeses and the charcuterie meats and that kind of thing. But they had those gorgeous tulips. I guess part of it's for Valentine's Day, but they had those gorgeous tulips for like $5 a bunch. So yeah, and I can't scroll. I missed a question. I'm sorry, guys. You can ask it again if I miss it. But I apologize. Somebody asked a question that I totally just missed. So it was scrolling too fast. So I apologize for that. But anyway, so yeah, I went to Aldi's and got um, the tulips this morning. I actually don't think I did a very good job putting the tulips together. I had texted Gracie some pictures and I was like, well, it's a good thing that I never wanted to be a florist because I'm not very talented at this. But I have, these are beautiful. I'll show you. These are gorgeous. Look at them with the yellow and red. Aren't they beautiful? And that's just two bunches, I think. And then that was like $10. And I love them in the picture. I love to use pictures for arrangement. So that's those. And then I didn't do such a great job on these, but I love this picture. I think this is an IKEA, I think, picture. And those are the kind of pink and purple. I mixed the darker color with the lighter color. So anyway, it was fun. It was fun to put them together. I'll put it back there. So if I get to see the kiddos this weekend, I thought I would take some to Gracie. So chocolate covered strawberries. This is so easy. And what gave me the idea to share it with you guys was once David and I, in fact, last year we were out at the Outer Banks of North Carolina for our anniversary. And I guess I hadn't planned very well, but at the last minute, maybe we were in a grocery store and I decided that I wanted to make, they were beautiful strawberries. Our anniversary's in March. And so I picked up some strawberries and we went to the Dollar Tree. There was a Dollar Tree nearby and we got some kind of chocolate. I honestly don't know what we used. We may have used Lily's. We may have just used like an 80% or 85% chocolate like Ghirardelli or Lindt. But I don't remember the chocolate. But we went to the Dollar Tree and they had coconut oil. And I think this is probably the same coconut oil. So I used that and I used a coffee cup in the microwave. Like, how simple is that? So I really didn't have anything special. Um, Oh yeah, and somebody said you got that cute heart-shaped cheese. I did. I got David a heart-shaped cheddar cheese. They didn't have it today. I guess they sold out of them since I was there last week. But anyway, because I had been able to make chocolate-covered cherries so easily in the microwave with a coffee cup and a spoon, and that was it. I decided that I could show you guys how to make it too. So I'm going to use my little burner here. This is one of the easier ways to do it. And if you don't have that, I mean, you can use the microwave too. And if you're using the microwave, just do like burst of 30 seconds. And when I make this at home, I like to use cocoa butter. Let's talk a little bit about that. Why you would use cocoa butter instead of coconut oil, because either will work. So coconut oil at temperatures above 75, 76 starts to get melty, right? Now, we're going to keep these strawberries in the freezer. Not freezer. No, freezer. Gosh, Kristie, in the fridge. We're going to keep these chocolate covered strawberries in the fridge. So it's perfectly fine to use coconut oil. The chocolate will be a little bit crisp, not a lot, a little crisp, especially straight out of the fridge. And then will soften depending on what room temperature means for you. Right now in North Carolina, room temperature is still kind of cool. Cocoa butter, and I love cocoa butter. I'm partial to it. This is refined coconut oil. My husband doesn't like anything with a hint of coconut in it. But cocoa butter, and I buy the ones that come in wafers. This is food grade cocoa butter, and I love these little wafers. It smells amazing. I love the way this tastes with chocolate. So when I'm at home, I use this. Now, cocoa butter is what will give that chocolate that crunch. So if you go to eat a chocolate covered strawberry with cocoa butter, it's going to be a little bit more crisp. So keep that in mind. Use whichever one you prefer. I do get this on Amazon. I can link that in the comments. This is Terrasol, and I like the wafers because it's easy to weigh or measure out. And for the most part, about 10 of these is an ounce, 10 of these little wafers. So I'm going to just weigh those out or measure those out. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. I did wash my hands ahead of time, I promise. And then for that 1 ounce of cocoa butter, I'm going to use 4 ounces of chocolate chips. Now let's talk about the chocolate chips. We've already talked about the coconut oil versus the coconut butter, right? So Lily's. This is my husband's preferred. He adores Lily. He and Lily have had a relationship for a long time. Okay. I'm not as fond of Lily as my husband is because they added inulin to it. I used to use it a lot, but it now has it has chicory root fiber, not inulin. It has chicory root fiber. And that can be a problem for blood sugar for some people. So if you like Lily, if you and Lily are friends, that's between you and Lily. I'm not going to tell you not to use it. But I do know that having that chicory root fiber can be a problem for some people. So anyway, I don't munch on this. I prefer to do like 85%, 90%, even 95% dark chocolate if I'm going to have a little bit of chocolate. My husband likes milk chocolate. Notice this is Lily's creamy milk. So if I was just making this for David or making it for someone outside my family, I would use that. What Kristie likes to use is these are the People's Keto. I'm not endorsing them. I don't get any money for recommending them, but I really love these chips. Now, I bought these some time ago. They're unsweetened chocolate, cocoa butter, stevia extract, and sunflower lecithin. The sunflower lecithin is just it's for the mouth feel. It's like a conditioner. And so that's the point of that. So anyway, it's not, these are really nice and clean as far as the ingredients. So that's why I use them. Use what you want to use. I'm going to use 4 ounces of these. Now I'm going to start by melting this. So basically what I've done is I washed the berries earlier, and I want to make sure they're dry because if they're wet, your chocolate can seize. It's not going to stick right. So you need your berries to be dry. Oh, and by the way, I have some strawberries and I picked up some pine berries. I don't know if you guys have ever had pine berries. Can you see my little pine berries? I had not had them, but when I was at Aldi's getting strawberries, they had these. Notice I've got the tops still on them. I like to leave the tops on them before I chocolatize them. But anyway, I'll touch them all with a paper towel before I put them on, but I have had them laying out. I washed them and laid them out to dry. When I finish with them, by the way, I will dip them or I'll put them in the chocolate. I'll show you what I do with that. Let me scooch this over. I'll show you what I do with that, and I will put them on a piece of parchment paper. So I've got my parchment paper here. I don't even know if I had parchment paper when we were at the beach. I may have gotten that at the Dollar Tree because Dollar Tree sells parchment paper. It's probably not $1 anymore. It's probably $1.25 or something. But anyway, I'll just lay it on here to let it cool and dry. So my berries have been out of the fridge for probably an hour more. Again, I don't know if you can see those or not. Let me grab my food scale, but I'm going to turn this on. So I want to let this melt on fairly low heat. It's just cocoa butter. That's all there is to it, just cocoa butter. Let me grab my food scale. And I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, which is not good. And I am going to use this paper towel to measure out my 4 ounces. Actually, that's not going to be a good idea. Let me grab, sorry guys, let me grab this. I had to look for those chocolate chips, so I didn't have everything out and ready the way I usually do. So I've got this melting, and whoops, let me measure out 4 ounces of my stevia sweetened erythritol blend. That's not big enough. I'm going to have to measure another ounce in just a minute. Gracious. Anyway, I've also got this. So I'm just going to stir this. So I've got it on fairly low heat. As soon as my cocoa butter melts, or if I was using coconut oil, as soon as my coconut oil melts, then I'll add the chips. I'll take it off the heat. Cocoa butter needs a higher it's a higher melting point than chocolate. So the same thing is true for coconut oil. So I like to melt that fat, whether it's coconut oil or chocolate. I like to melt it, take it off the heat, add that chocolate, and then as the chocolate melts, it brings down the temperature and it's not too hot for my strawberries. I also, by the way, this is the same method I use for peanut clusters, and I just happen to have a little packet of peanuts. So if I have chocolate left, because I'm not going to do a ton of strawberries at a time, to be honest, these, once you do them, I think they're good for me. They end up being good for just a couple of days, 2, 3 at the most, depending on how ripe your strawberries are to begin with. So I didn't want to do too many. I can do more later. So I may do some peanut. Okay, that's just about melted. And I don't know what questions you guys have. I'm not getting all the comments. So if you do have a comment, feel free to, if I missed it, you can type it again. This is different. The cooking sessions we do in the cooking community is Zoom. And I can scroll and see questions, and people can also unmute and talk to me. And so this doing a Facebook Live is a little different when I don't have somebody with me, like for David or somebody to monitor the comments. So if I miss a question, my sincere apologies. Just type it again and, and I'll try to answer. Okay, so I have got all this cocoa butter melted. Again, you can do it in the microwave in like 30-second increments. Let me move that out of the way. I'm going to pour in my chocolate chips and measure another ounce of chocolate chips. And because that bowl wasn't big enough, so I put 4 ounces of chocolate chips to, oops, too much. 4 ounces of chocolate chips to an ounce of cocoa butter. And you can see, I'll let you guys see how it's just melting. And like I said, it's melting, it's bringing down the temperature. So it's not going to be too hot for my strawberries. And that will help them last a little longer too. So here's another thing too. If it's too hot, you can always let it sit for a little bit and cool. But this is not going to be too hot at all, because what I did was, as soon as the cocoa butter was at least bit melted, I pulled it off the heat, put those in, and so I'm just using that residual heat to melt this. Okay, I'm checking questions, guys, so I keep stopping and looking. So who's going to try this? I'd love to know who's going to try making chocolate covered strawberries for Valentine's. Valentine's is Tuesday. Super Bowl is Sunday. So I guess the question becomes, when are people going to celebrate Valentine's Day? Usually you do the weekend before, right? Are you going to do Valentine's this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, or next weekend? Yeah. Okay, my kids, I think, we were going to try to see them this weekend, and they're just too busy for us. We might get to see one of them on Sunday, maybe. Okay, and I've just been stirring as I've been talking, and look, it's all melted. Again, if I was using my microwave, I would just do 20 or 30 seconds at a time, keep stirring it until the chocolate's melted. Okay, so there are a lot of ways to do this. What I tend to prefer is I've got my washed strawberries. I'm going to start with this big guy. You can see him better, right? And I like to pull the green up. So I've got the green in my fingers. I've left the top on. Victoria said she's going to make some strawberries for her granddaughter on Sunday. And then you can use the spoon, or you can use I've been using the spatula. You can use the spatula, and I like to drizzle it over until it's just, I don't like to dip it because I'm funny that way and it'll contaminate my chocolate. I know, it's Kristie being Kristie, but I just do that side. And then, oh, this is a big strawberry, y'all. I don't usually, there we go. I don't have anything to hold on to. Okay. And drip it there. And what's going to happen when I put it on the parchment paper, it won't stick, so it will be really, really gorgeous. Okay, that's it. You see what I did there? So simple. It's dripping off the back side. Let me put it right here on this edge I did not get, right? And that's it. Do let it kind of drip down into the pot and set it aside. Okay, well, let me do the next one. This is another big guy. I'm pulling the green up because I want to leave the green on it. I'll show you guys as I'll put it closer to the camera once it cools down. My strawberries are fairly cold, so that will help the chocolate to, yeah, this is a lot easier to do this one. It will help the chocolate to cool and set up more quickly. It really takes minutes. And that's it. So I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm kind of putting it at the top of the berry and letting it drip down and letting it drip back in the pot. Let me wipe my fingers off. Again, you've heard me say this, I washed them earlier and let it sit there. And so I am making sure they're dry. I want them to be dry. Let's do a pine berry. Have you guys had a pine berry? Apparently they have a bit of a pineapple taste. I did try one earlier after I picked them up, and it was interesting. It's not the same as a strawberry. It was okay. I don't know if it wasn't what I expected, and maybe it was just the one I was trying. So this is it, y'all. See how hard this is? Don't y'all go out and pay crazy amounts of money for strawberries that are dipped in sugar. Don't you do it. You can do this yourself. Do it yourself. So Dollar Tree. And then Dollar Tree actually also sells the dark chocolate. So you could get all of it at the Dollar Tree. Like you can spend less than what, $3, and then getting parchment paper, chocolate, and coconut oil, and use a coffee cup if you have to. And then buy the strawberries. Strawberries tend to be on sale around here around Valentine's Day. We're starting to get them from Florida. Make sure it's dry. You want to make sure gently. I'm squeezing it gently. But anyway, they start to be okay to eat when they're coming up from Florida. Before that, they have no taste and they're just not worth the carbs. Now you can go back. Let's say that I had a different kind of chocolate. I had a dark chocolate with a darker chocolate. I could go back and make swirls later with that. Okay. And that's it. I'll do one more. I'm going to do a pine berry, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. I don't see comments, but I am watching for them. And the chocolate is getting thicker. That's the other thing. The chocolate will harden. And so if it starts to get too cold or too thick, just put it back on heat. I'll do another pine berry. I didn't see if anybody else says they've eaten pine berries before. So one of you is making it Sunday. Is anybody else going to try these? Or are you going to wait until strawberries come in season. Around here in my part of North Carolina, they'll start coming in season, depending on the weather. I'm going to say late April, mid to late April, again, depending on the weather. Okay, that's it. That's all there is to it. How easy is it, y'all? And again, at the end, if I don't have strawberries, talk about the Dollar Tree, you can get the little packs of peanuts. And I like to buy the little packs because the big packs get eaten up here. So anyway, you can buy the little packs and that gives you a little portion control. Those are still not setting up. So let me do one more and then I'll show you. I promise. I'll show you what it looks like. Can I repeat the portions of chocolate versus coconut oil? Sure. I'm glad I saw that question too. I need to dry this guy. So I used 1 ounce of the cocoa butter, or you can use 1 ounce, which is about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. I use the refined because David doesn't like coconut. And so anyway, but 1 ounce of that to 4 ounces of the chocolate. And you don't have to do those exact ratios. You can do more cocoa butter, you can do less, or more coconut oil, you can do less. And you don't have to do it as thick as I'm doing it either. You could simply do, and now let me say that amount, the 5 ounces total, the 4 of the coconut oil or cocoa butter and 4, that will do like a whole big pack of strawberries. So if you need to do less, keep that in mind, or buy some peanuts and do the peanut clusters too. Oh, good. Angela says she's going to make some for Sunday. Oh, sure, Renee. See that, Renee? That's very sweet. Renee said, "Thank you for showing us this." I don't know why this left ear, other right AirPod doesn't always stay in. Okay, here we go. This is what we've done. Oops, we're gonna toss them on the floor. This is what we've done so far. They haven't set up yet, so we need to give them time. Now, I could take it and put them in the fridge. I should have done some ahead of time like I do when we do our cooking sessions in the cooking community, but they will cool off and they will harden up. And I'll have to take some pictures and show you those as we get closer. So I'm going to keep working on those. That's what they look like. I'll look and see if you guys have any questions, and then that'll be it for this live session. What was I doing live the other day? Oh, I was telling you guys about surgery on Sunday. I was like, I've been live a couple times this week. And then I was like, why? I was trying to remember why. There are times when I think about going live, but I don't have it scheduled and kind of feel bad about just like hopping on sometimes. I thought about doing a morning live, just like a, hey y'all, good morning. But I would probably end up doing that half the time, like in pajamas or something, because I don't always get up and like get dressed for the day because I work from home. So that might not be a good thing. Again, I'm pulling, if you guys didn't see me, I like to pull the green part up and it just gives me a little handle. And I think it's pretty and it gives someone a handle when they're eating. He asked a great question. Is doing it with a spoon better than dipping them in? Again, that's a Kristie thing. I like to, now I know that the chocolate's dripping off, the extra's dripping off, but I don't like to dip them in because of the chocolate. In my mind, it makes my chocolate dirty. I know it's crazy because it's dripping off, but I just prefer doing it like this. I honestly think, I don't know, I think they look a little better. Now this chocolate's getting cold. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's not dripping off quite as much. And so I either probably need to warm it. Yeah, I probably need to warm it. There's the little last. And somebody else said pine berries. They had not tried pine berries. But yeah, I just prefer to drizzle it. And honestly, you have a little more control about how much is going on. Also, Pete, this is a shallow, this is very shallow chocolate because the bowl is wider and flatter. And so dipping it becomes harder because you kind of scrape it against the bottom of the pan. So that's another reason too that I like to do it like this. Man, my husband's going to be a happy man when he gets home. He was kind of planning out our menu for the weekend. He was making me laugh. I'm doing tomorrow in the cooking community, we're making stuffed sausage, Italian stuffed sausage, y'all. They're like these boats. It reminds me of a twice baked potato, but you're using a sausage. So incredibly good. So anyway, um, he we were talking about kind of the menu, and he's like, let's do shrimp. Let's do and I was like, yeah, we can do a pound of shrimp. It's on sale at the Harris Teeter. I'm always at my Harris Teeter. So and I like the idea of doing the shrimp because that's a really nice lean protein, and that will offset kind of the high fatness of the sausages. But anyway, he was excited about that. I am going to make some chicken crust crackers. Yeah, Pete, it's just prettier. I don't know if you saw what I did just there, but it's just prettier if you take the spoon and put it over it. I think because I've got a shallow bowl. Did you mention where to purchase the cocoa butter? I did, and I can put a link, an Amazon link, but I get them from Amazon. And this is Terra Soul. Just make sure you're getting food grade. The other thing that I like with cocoa butter, if you're going to order it from Amazon. And I do like to make candies with this. It's in wafers. The first time can you see it's in these little pieces? The first time I ordered food grade cocoa butter, it came in big chunks. I mean, big chunks, like some of the chunks were this big. And it's really hard at room temperature. So trying to chunk it up was difficult. Another thing I will tell you, if you're going to order it, don't order it in summer months. Same thing, I order these chocolate chips. There's a store in Colorado I order from, and I order this time of year because if I order, gosh, May through October in North Carolina, they may come all melty. So I usually, in fact, it's probably time for me to stock up. I usually stock up on stuff like that this time of year because I can't get it locally. So anyway, hopefully that helped you guys to see. And I can put my Amazon links in there so you can see the chips. The chips, check the ingredients. I'm always like kind of afraid to mention things because half the time companies will change the ingredients list and things that used to be pretty clean are no longer. So always do check. And it has been a while since I bought those chips, so who knows now? They may be putting whatever kind of junk in it. But it's sweetened with erythritol and stevia, so it bakes well too. That's another reason why I love it, not only for making candies, but for baking. But anyway, I will put those links in there from Amazon. The best price, sometimes I'll link to Amazon just so you guys can see the product, but there's not always the best price. So do check the company's website, check Nutrition. They're a really good source. Some people have had success with Lucky Vitamin. I've never ordered from them, but yeah, I put it on there to show you guys the product, but it's not doesn't mean you have to buy it from there. You buy what's easiest and best for you, depending on your situation. Okay, and you can see I still have a lot of chocolate left. 2 more berries. I wish these would get cool so I could show you. I really do want to show you guys, but they're too wet. Sorry. Okay. I'm just going to keep working on these that I did earlier. Again, so easy. Make sure they're clean and dry before you start trying to put your chocolate on them. Ooh, this little pine berry, his top is about to come off. The green that I'm holding on to is about to come off. Okay, let me put that little guy right there. Last one, and I'll show you the pan that we made while we're talking. And I don't think we've been talking for about, 25 minutes. Okay, let me wrap this up, guys. Okay, this is it. And like I said, I'm going to I'll see how much I have. I'll probably pop those peanuts in there and make chocolate covered peanuts in just a bit. Somebody asked, I think, how many carbs. Um, Somebody said, thanks for doing it at this time slot any earlier and I would have missed you. You must be on the West Coast. It's so hard. We had somebody joining us from Australia, which is wonderful. I don't know, it must be super early there. But it is hard to find a time sometimes that suits everybody. I think somebody asked, there we go. See how pretty those are? See the pine berries, how pretty that is? Because it's a little while. I'll try to put it closer. You see? We did that. We did all that while we were chatting. I think somebody asked how many carbs. Again, it was scrolling because Facebook, but it depends on the size of the berry. It depends on what chocolate you use. Of course, cocoa butter and coconut oil are going to be 0 carb. In this one, and this is 60 chips, which is 14 grams, which is about half an ounce. That one is going to be, if we take out the sugar alcohols, 3 carbs. So my chocolate in all of this chocolate is going to be 3 times, what, 4? 12, is that right? I think 12 carbs for the chocolate and then whatever for the berries. And honestly, we probably didn't use even half of our chocolate so far. So it's really going to be, for the sake of argument and the size of berries, I would probably count each one. If it's something like this size, a smaller berry like this, I probably would say that's a carb and a half. If it's a big guy, like that guy, I'd probably count that as 3 carbs just to be safe. So I'm not going to sit down with these and have like a whole tray. For me, a serving is probably going to be 2, maybe 3 if they're small. If I was eating this size, that size right there, then I might have 1, 2, and 3. That would be enough. If I had that guy, I would probably eat that guy and then maybe a little guy, and that would be enough until the next day. So I hope that's helpful to you guys. Let me go around and look at some of the questions because I can't scroll through. So let me come around here and I'll just push the tripod back a little bit. Becky says it helps when you tell how to say the carb count. Somebody wants to join the video. Hi, Sita. She says she's going to go back and watch the beginning. Please do. And you can see the flowers I got. Let me try to straighten this up a little bit. That may help. I'm looking real short about right now. Real short. Sita says she's going to go back and watch. Let me lower this. There we go. Okay. If I lower it too much, it'll be, like showing my feet. We have this joke with our daughter about feet. Yeah, Becky had asked how many carbs. Yay, somebody said gorgeous. Will you link the chocolate you use? I will, Benita. I will link the chocolate. I think I have it somewhere. Here it is. It's Wholesome Provisions, People's Keto chocolate chips. But I will link. I have bought it. True story. I bought it. It's cheaper if you buy a 50-pound box. So I ordered a 50-pound box one year in February, and it came, and my husband was like, why did you order a 50-pound box of chocolate chips? And I was like, because it was a great price. And he's like, Kristie, what are you going to do with 50 pounds of chocolate chips? And they came, and I kid you not, they were literally in this giant box, like cardboard box. And so it took us hours. We had to scoop them into like freezer safe bags, Ziploc bags. Yeah, I haven't done that since. He was not real impressed with his wife for doing that. Oh, Bronwyn said this is a good time for New Zealand. Hi, Bronwyn. When we do the cooking community lives, we usually do them at 1 or 2. I didn't realize that was a great time for New Zealand, but we'll keep that in mind. I'm glad that you were able to join us. It is easy. Mary said you make it look easy. It is easy. Thank you, Sita. She said she liked my flowers. I got these. Let me pull these around. These were like $5 a bunch. That's 2 bunches. That was $10 at Aldi's. I was so excited for that. Hey, Tina. I will. I'll link the cocoa butter and the chocolate chips. Here's the cocoa butter again. It's food grade Terrasol, and these are the wafers. These are the little bitty guys, so you don't have the great big old large chunks that you have to try to chip away at. Ugh, tips for those who have to eliminate tree nuts. It is hard because so many low carb baked goods are you're using almond flour as kind of a base. Coconut flour is so different from almond flour, and just the way it behaves. So you can't use it in every single thing. Some people, now I've never played with it. Thank heavens we don't have any allergies. I don't have to be careful about oxalates or anything like that. But some people can use sunflower seed flour. Now, I forget, there's a trick to using it. It can turn some baked goods green. But honestly, I would look for nut-free recipes. I bet Carolyn Ketchum, she's amazing. I bet she has some good nut-free recipes. I have some, and I do have the nut-free marked in my cookbooks. If you look at, there's an allergen list in the back of my cookbooks, but I would look at that too. I have a couple recipes. I want to see if I have any bread recipes that are nut free. I think my rolls without rolls. I think that's nut free, and the best white bread from the cooking community may be nut free. I'm just not sure. Sorry, just don't know. Um, oh, exciting! Tracy said her birthday's Monday. Super Bowl is um, Sunday, and her Valentine's Day's on Tuesday. Husband's birthday Friday, so she'll definitely be making this. You have a lot to celebrate. You really, really do. You have a lot to celebrate. That's awesome. Okay. Thank you guys. It is hard to be nut free. I agree. I absolutely agree. So that was it. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to do more of these short little cooking things. This is not like a cooking community session because in there, like I said, more interactive. People ask questions, we chat, and we make a little more complicated stuff. We usually go for about 45 minutes. I try to do things that are not terribly, terribly crazy hard. But anyway, so this is a little bit different, but it is fun to just jump on Facebook and do a live and share recipes with you guys. And it's not even like a recipe, right? I mean, you're melting some cocoa butter or coconut oil and throwing some chocolate in there and dipping it in. So, like, what could be easier? Yeah, exactly. So, so, so easy. I hope that you guys have a great Valentine's Day, a great Super Bowl. I don't even know who's playing in the Super Bowl. I have like all these foods that people can make for the Super Bowl. We did the cheesy chicken fries yesterday, which are so good, nice and crunchy. And we're doing the stuffed Italian sausages tomorrow for Super Bowl. And then you've got Christy who won't go to a Super Bowl party. And you've got Christy who doesn't even know like who's playing. So it's just how it is. And Winston is sitting watching me. He's being such a good boy. He's not begging. Yesterday, he like stayed out of the way. And about the time that we had the cheesy chicken fries done, Winston popped up from under the table, like, "Hello, I'm here. I'm here to taste for you." It was just adorable. It was really cute. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.